Good morning, welcome to Natasha Makes. We're making all sorts of stuff today. It is my bamboo bathroom is what I've called it. And for those of you that watched yesterday, hands up who else spent the rest of the day humming me old bamboo. Thanks Lo for that one, like, you know, really no thanks really. We then had to go and look it up because I was a Mary Poppins fan. Not so much chitty chitty bang bang. Child catcher freaked me out. So that was that. Oh look, here we are. I finally found it. It's weird. Facebook's changed everything, so we just have to wait until we appear somewhere else, as if by magic. So yeah, so we did spend the rest of the day singing Me Old Bamboo, which has a bearing on today's show because it's all bamboo based. Don't know how many B's I can get into sentences, but I'm going to try. You can see I'm going to try very hard to get all of the B's out there today. So bamboo, we love it. It's antifungal, antibacterial. It is super absorbent. It is sustainable. It is absolutely so soft and gorgeous to touch. That really, it's a very, very versatile material, and it's It's easy to use, easy to sew with, lovely to sew with. And over the years, I have used it for the kids' nappies. Freddie had all washable, reusable bamboo nappies, which were absolutely fab. And then some of the inserts, extra inserts that he never used, I changed into makeup pads, and I've then used those as makeup removal pads. We haven't bought cotton. The only thing that I use cotton buds for is taking nail varnish off, and you've seen how often I use nail varnish because it's not my forte. I'm just not very good at that kind of stuff. So yeah. So bamboo, absolutely love it. We've got lots of it on the show today. And for those of you who go, well, great, you know, I bought it. What do I do now with it? We've got some ideas for you on that front as well. So lots and lots to play with this morning. I've also put together kind of a crib sheet for you for patterns for things like your eye makeup removal pads, your face cloths, your hair wraps, kids wraps, all those sorts of things for you, so that if you want ideas, then it's there for you. It's not that they're difficult makes, it's the measurements. It's just getting the measurements right that is going to be the thing. That's all. And once you get the measurements right, then you are well away. Bit of binding, bosh, we're done. Ooh. So who have we got this morning? We've got Christine and Sally and Jeanette, good morning, and Kaz, hello, and Helen, hello, and Jacqueline, good morning, and Diane. Everyone's saying it's a beautiful day. Would we say that? It's not so nice here. Morning Colette, morning Tony, morning Karen, morning Penny. Oh, feet up, nice, sitting back and relaxing. Morning Laurie, good morning. Hi Kate, hello Helen. Top of the morning to you all. Steve's here too this morning. Morning Steve. And good morning Pam and Naomi and Elizabeth, good morning. You've all got sun. Where's my sun? Who took my sun? Who stole my sun? Oh, Heather's got a bit of hand sewing to do today. Lovely. I've got so many ideas for hand sewing that are going around in my head at the moment. And good morning. It's Australian Anne. Hello. And Christine and Myra. What have I missed? Not a lot yet. Don't you worry. And hello, Debbie and Grace and Helen and Susie. Good morning, and Leanne. Oh, yeah, you see, Leanne. Case in point, you've purchased the dark grey bamboo, haven't done anything with it yet. I'm here to change all of that for you. Yeah, exactly that. Looking forward to the ideas. If you've bought it, Leanne, then you know how super soft it is. And it really is beautiful. There you go. Margaret's got strange blue stuff over Wokingham. It's called Sky with no clouds. Morning, Carol. Claire's got a quiet house. Boys are at school. Lovely. Barbara's already managed to walk the dog. Perfect. If you hear Eric barking, we're having a clear around and a tidy up of warehousing and whatnot at the moment. So if you hear Eric barking, it's because he's helping. He doesn't go off. So the pups, the girls go off with the dog walker every morning when we're on air. Firstly, so they don't bark, and secondly, so that they can have some fun, and it just takes the pressure off me so that I can focus on the show for the morning, and then I'd do stuff with them in the afternoon. What was I going to say? Yeah, he's too old to go with them now. Not all the time. So we are going to show you how to make today these little things. I use these every day. So every day that I have makeup on, obviously I have to wear quite a lot. It's TV, you know, and I'd scare people otherwise. So rather than scare people, I make these. I whipped up these this morning, but they're bamboo one side, just plain cotton the other. And I use these instead of cotton pads to take my makeup off. Now, these are the original ones that I've made, and these have got to be, look, there's a whole load of them here. These have been going for well over a year, I would say, on these ones now. And yeah, I removed my eye makeup with coconut oil, with those. Rub that around in a tin of coconut oil, off comes the makeup, into the wash it goes, not a problem. So you can see how much that saves me, and I just wanted to show you that, you know, you just throw these in the wash, they wash up, an absolute treat, I promise you. That is the beauty of these. So this fits really nicely with, don't want to send things into landfill and all that kind of stuff. So if I can find a way in my home to make even a little difference, then I'm really happy to do that. So there are a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can make them circular, or you can make them sort of flat at the bottom, or circular all the way around. It's entirely up to you. We've got all of these coming up on the show today. Also coming up on the show today, we've got beautiful fabric bundles. We've got some amazing deals, and when you spend £50, you get £5 off. Automatically, it's all loaded on the website for you. So if you are having a little spend up, it's our little treat to you. We drop it in occasionally for you, just to, you know, just help people on the way a little bit, you know, because we can. And so we do. Just occasionally, you know, we go, do you know what? It's nearly the middle of the month. Is it nearly the middle of the month? It feels like it might be nearly the middle of the month, although I'm surprised still that it's March. So that makes no sense. So fabrics that would be perfect. Oh, and by the way, thank you all so much for your love. So yesterday on the show, we did bags galore, and I had for you the bag bases, the faux leather bag bases, and afterwards, I was like, do you know what? None of the beige ones sold. I was like, that's so strange, because I really love them. And we often say, you know, you just need to show people what to do. This has a pattern that comes with it, which was super easy to follow. And all I would say is follow the pattern on the that comes with it, and then use that as your template for the lining. Make the lining in exactly the same way, and you are good to go. But these just stitch on around there, and I just used embroidery floss. That you see, I haven't quite finished it, so I've popped the embroidery floss in there, and the needle, and the other handle. So these just stitch on. They're all on the website for you. You see, you've even got the holes, so you know exactly where to stitch it all on with. That's what they look like stitched on, and it's the same around the base. And that is the beautiful Zarafa fabrics, which we still had some of. And again, this was the thing. We're like, this is such beautiful fabric. And do you remember, out of the same range, we made the little flower pot holder the other day, or Easter egg holder, if you're us. So we thought we would bundle these fabrics for you. We had a bit of a conversation last night about what were the best ways to cut fabric, and we decided it depended what you were going to do with it. So we've done some one way, some another. Here we go. Let me show you. we've got some fabric bundles for you before we even start anything else. So if you fancy, gosh, I've made such a mess here already this morning. There is bamboo on everything. We've done a bundle so that you are going to get a 1/2 metre, and this is by Christopher Wilson Tate. The soft blues in this are just divine. And you will then get 6 fat quarters and a 1/2 metre piece. So you will get fat quarters in this and that. And then look, we've got the spotty ones that go with it that are just beautiful. So that's your bundle, 6 fat quarters and then a 1/2 metre of that. It's on a little bit of a deal for you, but they are absolutely beautiful. We've cut these as fat quarters because we thought quilters would find that most useful, but we did this as a 1/2 metre because we thought that would be great as a panel. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. But I mean, bearing in mind that's half of its width. So you get two lots of giraffes. Same on the other side. It's just exquisite. When this is gone, it is gone. It was so hard to get hold of. But get hold of it we did. So that is on the show for you today. When it's gone, it's gone. There are a few that we had some random amounts left over, so they have gone up by the 1/2 metre. So that's one fabulous deal. The other was, do you remember the beautiful Riley Blake Jane Austen fabrics? And Susie, who we've had on the show, she was the one that had to go to the museum, Jane Austen Museum, and these are such close replicas of the actual fabrics that were on their dresses, on their things, and colour-wise, you know, she got to sort of peel back and see where it wasn't faded by the light, so that you've actually got, and again, these are fat quarters, because Jane said that for a quilter, fat quarters were really, really useful. Whereas when I'm doing binding and stuff, I want... So we've put together for you here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fat quarters. So that's nearly 2 meters of fabric there for you. There's a massive discount on this. Yeah, this was like a sale item, proper sale item, because we had odd amounts of each one. So again, you know, when this is gone, it is gone. And that's it. But if you absolutely love the Riley Blake, and by the way, this looks absolutely amazing with the blue towel. Look, let me show you. So the blue bamboo, so it might be that you want to do like your bathroom. The blue bamboo, look how beautifully that picks out that blue. And they're gorgeous. Absolutely, it's absolutely spot on, the blue that's in there and on there. It's just perfect, because I was in 2 minds whether or not to do like a 1/2 metre of that and a 1/2 metre of that, because it went so beautifully together. Anyway, if you want your Riley Blake fabric, so you know that we're bringing you fabulous quality, and it's all good stuff. And then for today's show, because there's a lot of binding to be made, I really wanted to go and give you long quarters. So that's 10-inch strips. So it goes the full 44 inches. And we've bundled them into 3s, so that in your household you could each have these items that we've got on the shows today, but with different binding on, so that you knew whose was whose. Or if you just want to pop it into your stash, we've got the Lewis and Irene Bumbleberries. These are fabulous blenders, absolutely wonderful blenders. And so you've got a trio of the Bumbleberries. Remember, if your basket's going up over £50, you take £5 off. So even better deals going on this morning. There we go. So that is, what colours have we got there? These are cream gold and fox red. Yeah. And then, if we're sticking with the Bumbleberries, and the Bumbleberries are the Lewis and Irene mixers, the blenders. I've only got 2 of these, and when they're gone, they're gone. We have unicorn Bumbleberries, beige Bumbleberries, and the taupe flying geese. That's your, there's like an iridescent sort of, I don't know if you can see on the unicorn one. Now you see I made bibs out of that with the taupe, and it was absolutely glorious, and also because it's kind of food stain colour, so absolutely perfect. Perfect. Let's be honest about the situation. These would also go beautifully with the... Oh, here we go. Let me show you. Oh yeah. With those colours, so if you wanted to line or do anything like that, absolutely gorgeous. Oh look, there are the two. That's it. That's all we've got on that. We just had a spare ½ metre of the unicorn. That was it. And then, gosh, busy today, right? Busy. And then we've got some Tilda ones. And again, just because these go so beautifully with some of the toweling colours. For example, the teal. So my thinking behind it, and this was how my thinking went, was either, you know, you have a beautiful collection and these then bind around here, or if you're doing them for different members of the family, everybody has a different colourway or a different what have you. Or if you're doing them just as a set for someone, then maybe these will be the backs of your makeup pads, this will be the binding around your hair towel, maybe, you know, whatever it is, you've got plenty there. Or maybe you just love Tilda and you want that in your life. That is also totally acceptable. Now, oh, do you know what else goes beautifully with this? I have to show you. And this is still available by the ½ metre. Yes. It's like it was made for it. Look at that. Look at that. Because it might just be that you're going to do towels with these, like great big towels, and you just do a strip with a fox and a hare and a bit of a peacock across it, and then just bind it in it. That would, I mean, that would also be stunning. Let's be honest. I just think that's it. I'm just forgetting to move on, because that to me was one of those moments where I just go, and yes. So that's the teal toweling. Now the grey, here is the grey. I've got grey. Whoop. So this is your grey toweling, and again with your Tilda. It's just going to either act as a highlight. It would also look very stunning with, let me show you, oh gosh, big old bolts, these ones. Or if you wanted to go for the lighter grey, this is the silver. Then we've got those, and these are long quarters for you. So 3 Tilda long quarters there. When they're gone, they're gone. That's the end of those. But whilst I'm trying to find things under there, let's also have a look. Whilst we're sticking with Lewis and Irene as well for a minute, what about if you're going for these darker colours in terms of your dark grey bamboo or your silver bamboo? Look at this. So this was, and I'll just pop that there. Look at that. This is your Lewis and Irene metallics. So you've got your grey metallic there, you've got your black with the star, and then you've also got your elephants there. So my thoughts with this were, whichever one you wanted to go through, like the black looks really smart with the grey, it all works. The stars look really lovely with the silver, it just, and actually that looks really gorgeous with the darker bamboo as well. So maybe because our Gemma has got a teenage daughter that just wants everything in black. So the black elephant's perfect for her. And makeup remover pads, absolutely perfect. If you're worried about getting out your mascara, which I've shown you my pads and I use those every single day, never had a problem. But if you are worried, then maybe you want to go for these darker ones and have those, absolutely fine. And again, these are going to work really well for teenagers who are difficult to please. Yeah, we all know those. We all know. We all have those teenagers in our lives. Or maybe, you know, for the chaps, maybe you want to do them some star ones. It's up to you. What other ones have I got hiding down here? Oh, the Tilda Pinks. There we go. Now, for this, obviously, they look great with the grey. They also, let me show you, with the ivory, they look blinking lovely too. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm going to have a landslide here in a moment, aren't I? Absolutely I am, I think. And also they look a bit blinking gorgeous with the taupe. I love the taupe. It's really gorgeous. I will show you more on that in a minute. And so this is the pink. So I think everybody knows what the Tilda pink sort of is like. That is the rose. It's called Rose. That is your rose one. So for this bundle, potentially not. But if you are a Tilda fan and you do want to put some pink with it, or maybe you want to use these for bibs, they're phenomenal for bibs, then look, I would go with this one. This is available by the half metre. When it's gone, it's gone. That's all I've got of it. And this is your Tilda Tiny Farm in blue. But that pink of the Piggy Pig works so beautifully with the rose. And the bib pattern that we've got is absolutely perfect for use with your bamboo. We've used it with brush cotton. That's gorgeous. Also beautiful with the bamboo. So the bamboo goes underneath. You can also then mop your child down afterwards, which, ask any parent, they will tell you is invaluable. And then the other Tilda that we've got by the half metre for you, if you happen to be doing, you know, a la bibs and stuff, is this one. This is Tiny Farm in Mist, which is ever so beautiful. And this one works with the pink, but also, gosh, I'm getting all my bamboos all over the place, aren't I? Bamboozled. Where did I just don't. Oh, the taupe. Yes, the taupe. The taupe. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So yeah, I mean, it might be that you just go for a half metre of each and just do a whole load of bibs and stuff for the little ones. And you're laughing. The other thing, of course, is that the baby sets that we had yesterday will work beautifully with all of these as well. If you want to go for things for boys, let's move some of these out of the way. Woohoo! Then this is the blue. It's the soft tones on these that are just so gorgeous. So maybe you want to go, maybe you're going to make a whole bathroom Meduberry with these. Ooh, look, gorgeous, just gorgeous. And that would be with your blue bamboo, or just even your cream with that would be rather lovely. And then that's beautiful with the blue bamboo too. Let's move those out of the way. And then also, because I know you're going to go, oh, but you've got everything sorted for the girls. What about the boys? The boys, I've got Liberty. Beautiful Liberty. This is the Liberty Treasures in the Sky. I adore this. Freddie's got a lot of this around his bedroom. Because you can pick out those oranges. Freddie loves an orange and I love blue. So it's the perfect fabric for us both. Plus we both love space. So, you know, it's a winner. So with this, of course, you can use it with the taupe, you can use it with the greys, you can use it with the blues. It's really, really versatile. You can use it with the ivory or the white. This is such a lovely versatile one to use it with. Or the greys, of course, as well. Absolutely perfect. So lots and lots of different options for you. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot today. Oh, no, hang on. Come on. Let's get these buttons right. There we go. Hello, I'm back. And of course, if you went for, like I say, the baby bundles that we had yesterday, then, yeah, you can, that works beautifully with the blue as well. Blues, creams, ivories, whites. It doesn't really matter. For the greys, yeah, both of the grey. Yeah, you could put it with the greys, you could put it with the pinks. I wouldn't, that is too much of a rose pink to go with that. So with this one, I would either go with the silver, because look, you've got here, silver or grey. If I just show you overhead, there we go. So yeah, if you're doing things for someone that's got a little one on the way, then I would go with the silver for this, or the darker grey. Look, you can see you've got the darker grey in there as well. So suddenly we're looking at changing blankets, stuff like that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look how beautiful they are. Or actually just wipes that they can use time and time and time again. That's the other thing. Remember that all of the pattern ones here are organic cotton. Beautiful. There we go. So 7 organic cottons. One of those isn't. That the plain isn't organic. The rest is all organic cotton for $34.99, I want to say, or was it $35.99? Around that order. But for 7.5 meters of fabric, they are coming in, like I say, at quite a special price. These ones, and again, you know, use these with the. I'd go dark grey or white or cream with the blues for sure. I possibly wouldn't put it with that blue because it's just not quite the right shade. But you put it with that and it's perfect. This is the ivory, because then it's going to pick out those yellowy tones through there. And that will be absolutely delightful. Just gorgeous. Now, of course, you could put the pink on there as well. Perfect. So many options for you today. I feel like there's quite a lot. Gemma did say, do you know how many items we've got on the show today? I'm like, oh, I'm not sure that I really want to think about it. Not sure. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot. But, you know, it's one of those things. If you want to make a complete set for someone that's having a baby that's really useful, because let's face it, as soon as you have a child, everything goes in the wash. And as much as you think you're only going to need a couple of bibs, you need a lot because, you know, they keep having to go in the wash. I'm always surprised. And years on, actually, I mean, Captain Small is 2.5 and she still has a bib, you know, when she eats, and the bibs that she is wearing, the sizings, and that's the bib pattern that we've got on the show. That bib pattern has done her from newborn. She's 2.5, still wears the exact same bib. It's perfect. And that's what, you know, it's not that it's a difficult make. All you're doing is, what you're paying for is that pattern. Can I just show you this with the taupe? It's funny actually, different ones with these look really beautiful. I thought I really wanted this with, look at those with the taupe. My thoughts with this is that this would be a really lovely bathroom collection. So maybe you fussy cut some of these for the back of your wipes. Maybe you use this for your binding for around your hair wrap. maybe you bind your towels or something in that, or if you're monogramming, then you know you can use different things. We're going to look at monogramming and how to do that with these, but I just think that this is the taupe, and it's overlooked time and time again with people, but it is such a useful colour. And on top of that, this is my favourite colour for making dog blankets. And well, I mean, it would be fair to say a lot of you yesterday saw, gosh, it had been a year since Maud and I had been at Crufts. Maud is my otter hound, and it's fair to say she's got a lady beard. Let's just put it out there. She's got a lady beard, and stuff can get caught in the lady beard. So having wipes and stuff. Oh, so she's a really messy drinker. She dunks her entire head in her water bottle and then just flicks it around the place. So yeah, this is the perfect Maud colour as well. But actually, if you are doing different colours for different family members, the tones of these are so beautiful. Look, there's your ivory, there's your silver, there's your taupe. There's not a lot in it between the silver and the taupe there. And then there's your pink. You know, tonally, they're all really soft and very, very beautiful. That is your blue. Whoop. That is your teal. And that, blimey, is your dark grey. So they are all the different colours that we stock, and the white, which I'm about to demo with. So tonally they all work. So if you did want to go for different colours for different family members, you're absolutely perfect with those. These also, because they're so absorbent, they also make beautiful lightweight toweling coats for your dogs. So do take a look at the how to draft your own dog coat pattern. I think we called it a pet coat, so if anybody wanted to make one for a cat, they didn't feel left out. Although I don't think any of my cats would be terribly impressed if they were given any sort of pet coat. Although Half Pint does keep pulling out her fur with all of her allergies, bless her. So I think it's become a bit of a habit. That's the other thing the vet said. She's just got a bit of a habit. So, you know, she's 15, nearly 16 now. She's not going to change, is she? She just looks a bit mossy. Righty-ho. Let's take some of these out of the way. And then we can make up making stuff. Oh no, hang on a minute. I forgot I've got some more. I've got 5 more fabrics to show you. Then I promise we'll crack on and do some do some making. I promise. Whee! Whew, right. Oh my goodness. All right, let's put those over there. It's a busy show today. Oh yeah, these were the other ones. So, whoops, let me smash the place up. These were, I thought, fabulous for bibs. Well, they're just fabulous. What am I saying? They're just fabulous. Now, this is called Paradise. There we are. Do you want to see it overhead? And I thought, well, do you know what? I thought bibs and stuff. But let's face it, it's just bright and cheery. You might want to make some bags and stuff out of it. This is the thing, isn't it? You know, all of the bag designs that we had on yesterday, they're going to look great with great big designs. I was thinking cape and stuff like that. But there's no reason why you shouldn't have a massive, great big tote with parrots on. Why not? There you go. Loving these. So we've got parrots and some sort of tropical paradise situation going on there. For those of you that want to use the bamboo and do it with for the bibs, or maybe you just want to do a towel one side and have a fun coloured piece the other and just throw it down as a blanket, a kid's blanket on the floor, then you know maybe that's the way that you want to do with it. Or maybe you want to do bamboo one side and then back the towel with this. This is gorgeous. These are all metallics here. These are by Wyndham Fabrics. It's called Wish. It's so beautiful. And this has got like musical notes in, or newspaper script or whatever, but it's bright, it's fun, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. This is brushed cotton, so absolutely perfect if you're making something for a little one. Maybe you want to pop this on the back of a bib. Seems a shame to pop it on the back of a bib. Maybe, I think in America they call it flannel, and here we call it brushed cotton. But whatever, it's super, super, super soft. And so yeah, that might be the backing for a kid's quilt, or I don't know, it's so lovely. It's just so lovely. It might be the other side of a towel. I don't know. What are you going to do with it? It might be a changing mat, the top of a changing mat, and then you want to put toweling underneath. The taupe would work beautifully with this, actually, as would the blue. And then I was looking at colours that would go, and this struck me as just the most beautiful. It's a Kaif. It's the Aboriginal dots from Kaif Facet, and look at those purples together. How gorgeous do those look together? This is, from a distance, just looks like a plain with a bit of interest. When you get it up close, here, yeah, isn't it beautiful? And so we've got that, and then we've also got Minerals by Tulip Pink, and this one is, she gives them all emerald. And again, I've got limited amounts of this, but I thought that, firstly, the purple and the green together looks amazing. Secondly, you go and pop an elephant on it, or I love those. I mean, they're just all... So I didn't bundle them because I couldn't decide how I would bundle them, and they just all had their own beautifulness about them. So they're there by the ½ metre, should you wish. Beautiful fabrics! I do truly feel super spoilt sometimes. Right, let's make some stuff, shall we? Let me have a quick drink. I had sausages for breakfast this morning. It's made me really thirsty. But the kids decided they've got mustard seed and I don't want to eat them. So I obviously ended up eating all their breakfast. Perks of the job, right? Perks of the job. What should we make first? Let's move that out of the way. Let's do a little bit of a plique onto these, shall we? I was on the phone to Gemma this morning, had a genius idea. For those of you that like to use Bondweb, you will be putting templates on back to front. For those of you like me who like to use Bond and Repair, you'll be drawing from the front. So if you have names that, let's face it, you are going to be using regularly, and I do use these. So when Emily was little, we did her a little blanket with her initials on there with Liberty, fleecy blanket. So this is something that we do use quite a lot, it has to be said. Then this is the genius thing. If I can find my pen, that would be even more genius. Not that one. Where is my... It was here. I was using it earlier. Where's my marker pen gone? I've tied it up, haven't I, ready for the show? No, I can't find a thing. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? What have I done with it? put it? Anyway, it did occur to me that if you put, I'm gonna have to find another marker. I've got loads of marker pens. Where have they all gone? Where? Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh yeah. So if you pop this onto template plastic, then of course you've always got it. Whichever way around you want it to be. Perfect. Because normally you'd have to decide, wouldn't you? You'd be like, and try and trace through it, over it, all those sorts of things. Whereas this way, all you need to do is get a bit of your template plastic and just, I'm not saying for everything. I'm just saying, like, if you've got grandkids and there are letters that you're going to use if you want to personalise anything, then having those letters, so for us, obviously it would be E for Captain Small, and that sounds weird, but someone said to me the other day, I said, so how many kids do you have? I just know that you have one called Captain Small. And I'm like, it's not her actual name. However, Captain Small and Bear are what our kids are generally known as. But yeah, Captain Small is actually Emily. And she has now cottoned on to the fact. You say, what's your name? I am. Okay. So luckily, obviously her initials are EM. So you can go, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, you clever thing. But yeah, she's gone past calling herself Mimi McCarthy. Although, let's face it, most of the delivery drivers around here think that my name is actually Mrs. Makes. Delivery for Mrs. Makes. These are so blunt. These are my paper scissors. Now, yesterday on the show, I had scissor sharpeners, didn't I? Bear with me. I don't know if these ones fit in here. Oh, they do. If you don't like the sound of metal on metal, just maybe turn your volume down now. I know there used to be one person who watched Sewing Quarter who used to get really upset when I demoed the scissors. Oh, that's better. That's better. There we go. You see, Stephen's a bit like that, my husband. He doesn't like it if anyone's got rings on and they hold on to a metal banister going downstairs. So like in shops and stuff, if you're going down, or in car parks, if I've got my rings on and we go down, he's like, can you please not? Can you please not hold on? Because that is absolutely setting my teeth on edge. I'm like, that's fine. And so I can't sharpen knives in front of him either. You'll note I'm the one that has to sharpen the knives. He's like, yeah, could you just sharpen all my knives for me this weekend? Yes. It's quite satisfying, actually, I have to say. So now I will always have this template. We've got these as a set. The applique thingies. Now you might wonder, what exactly are you going to do with this? And with the bamboo, but I will show you. So maybe you want to do towels for people. maybe you've only got like little snippets of, say, some Liberty or something left, or some Pretty Tilda or something like that, and you just can't quite bear to throw it away, then this is a really lovely way to use up that. So there is Emily's E. There we go. Now, if I'm going to applique something on, then there are a few things that I am going to do first. Now, hang on, let's see. Which ones did we go for in the end? Oh, she chose. So she chose this. So I need to get myself just a little squidge of that. An Emily size strip of that, and then the rest can be used for her binding. There we are. No. This is up for sale by the half metre, so I'd better only use a little smidgen off the end. All right, so if you're using Bond and Repair, if you're using Bondaweb for your applique requirements, then you will get your letter, you'll turn it back to front and draw on the back of the paper. If, like me, you use either Mistifuse or Bond and Repair, this is Bond and Repair, and we sell it by the half metre, the Mistifuse we're still really struggling to get hold of, then what I tend to do with it, and let me just check, how wobbly did my cutting go there? Oh no, look, we're perfect. What I would tend to do is prep an amount. So cut, and this is, so it looks, this, if you've not used it before, it's really lovely. It's what I used for the fabric stuff, for the dahlias that we've got on the website. That's the stuff. So you can fuse two fabrics together really easily. You can use it to repair holes in jeans. Now, if you pop that on the back of your fabric leg, so get your pressing mat. And then get your Teflon sheet. If you don't have a Teflon sheet, and we've got packs of these, you can use baking paper, sheets of baking paper as well. I've popped a little corner, which is what my goddess sheet has. So this is kind of just a bigger version of a goddess sheet. And we sort of did these when we couldn't get hold of the goddess sheets. But again, it's just, all we're doing here, the Teflon means that it's not going to stick. Taking that corner out means that as long as I know that's on the top right hand side, and I'm consistent about how I do the stick, then I know that I'm okay. So I'm going to press over there, leave it to cool. But what you then have is your Bond and Repair, your Mistifuse, whatever it is that you've used is then on there. That's it, that's done. So I'm just going to let that cool. Put the pressing mat to one side. And once that's cooled, we will. It's then up to you how you want to I don't know if you can see, but so that now has, Can you see it's got a slight coating to it? So all of those little fibres that looked like spider web effectively, there you go, those, they've now melted onto that fabric, so that now can be cut and used to adhere. So again, if I wanted to, I can use my template from the front. If I don't want to, then I can use it from the back and flip it and do it round the other way. And because I've put more on there, like I might want to fussy cut so that I get a bit of a chicken or a bit of a cow, or however I want to do it. Do it so I'll get a little house with a heart on it there. And then get yourself a pen or whatever and cut around. And this is why it's so handy to now have your template. So on school bags and stuff like that, I can now monogram. There we go. So if you were using, like I said, the Vaseline bonding stuff, then that has a paper carrying sheet. So you draw around back to front again onto that carrying sheet. Now you see, I could have, oops, very easily have drawn this on the right way. Wouldn't have been a problem. I just would have had to have made sure, and if I could have done that with, if I knew that I was using an air erasable or a marker that was going to erase easily, then that's fine. And then just cut this out. Emily's going to be chuffed a bit. She said to me this morning, "Mummy, we're going to your workroom. It's fun there." She hates being left out. Really hates being left out. There were tears, not going to lie, there were tears this morning because she couldn't come in. She'd very happily come and do the show. Whether we'd get much done is another matter. Now, the secret for me, and I learnt this having worked in the paper craft world for a few years, when you are appliquing, the secret is to use a big pair of scissors. People often want to use like a little pair of scissors thinking that they can get in there, but you see, especially with these scissors, they're so sharp all the way around. It's just fab. So I can then just concentrate on, yes, bringing that blade round, but this hand here, all I'm doing is then just angling, be it whatever, you know, fabric, paper, whatever it is that you're fussy cutting out. We are trying to get these scissors back in stock, by the way. There we go. Round we go. Now what you then have is, what have I done with it? There we go. You've got your letter to then start to personalize things for the kids. So what I would do, I wouldn't press straight onto there. Again, I'd put my Teflon pressing sheet there and adhere. Now obviously, because this is bamboo, it's not one even surface that this is going onto. So what I would use this for is almost basting, and then I would put my faux blanket stitch on my machine, or you could just stitch around there just to make sure that it's going to stay on. But blanket stitch is great. Anything like that is going to be great. But you see, you've already got all the sticky stuff on the back, so all you're doing now is remelting that adhesive and putting it on there. And there it is. So if you wanted, I mean, I would probably go around in like a dark grey or something, just to really make that stand up. I'm not going to make you watch what I did. You've already watched me draw around it twice. I'm not going to make you do that. Sue said, I made my daughters some makeup remover pads backed with some Tilted Charm pieces I had left over. They absolutely love them. Oh, morning, Cass from Sydney. Hello. You see, perfect. So let's have a little look. Yeah, they are super pretty as a gift. Anything like this is really gorgeous as a gift. And anything personalised when you have a child is always perfect. Always perfect. So let's have a think about this, shall we? Because I've got so many things to show you. Some are incredibly easy, and like I say, it's just having the measurements that you need, which is why we've put like the guide sheet together for you. But ultimately, you know, obviously it's all up to you. So you might be wondering what I'm going to do with this. It's a very good question. It's something I have asked myself numerous times. But let me show you something here, okay? This is a meter of bamboo. That is a meter. It's a meter. And this is what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to lay out my meter like this. And, oh, this one's got a join in it. Every now and then on one of them you will get a join, but if we find it on your piece, then you know we take it off, and that's why I will use it in a demo instead. So what you can do is either measure out, or I tend to fold across the top like that. Like so and like so. Smooth it out, and then use this as a guideline then for cutting your fabric into a great big square. Where are my scissors? Oh, try not to cut over there. And so So you can see we're on the diagonal there, and then let's just finish off cutting up here. You can be super accurate and take that time. And then let's go to one of the corners that you've then got. You'll notice that your bamboo has two sides. You've got sort of a more roughy side there. I say rough, it's got longer tendrils, if you will. And then a smoother side. And it's entirely up to you how you want to do this. Now, this is going to be a big bath sheet for Emily. She's outgrown all of the baby ones. So I'm just thinking about how I want to do it. And I probably want to have the really fluffy side on what will eventually be the inside once she's wrapped in it. So just have a think about that. Your bamboo is going to be really effective either way, but one has longer strands than the other. So then it means that I've got this on the fluffier side as well. And I'm going to line all of that up there, like so. Now, what I will do is I'll put some binding straight across that edge as well. So that's all going to be bound. I've used a 2-inch strip of fabric, but this pointy stuff, I don't really want that to be a thing. And that's where I get out my Creative Grids multi-size curved corner cutter. Brilliant! Find your center point, and that's pretty easy to do because you line up the straight edges there, and then all you need to do is either draw or cut around there. If I had a rotary cutter, that would be really useful right now. What have I done with it? I had like 3 on the desk, and then I tied it up. Oh, here they are. Hang on, I've got a little bitty one. I don't know where my normal big one is. There we go. And that's just going to give you a lovely equal curve all the way around. And I will bind along the base there. I will bind then. You can tack this in place, or you can just go around it with your binding. But what I will do then, and this is the really clever thing about this tool, is on every single corner, if you use the same size, so you've got, this is your 3-inch radius, 2-inch radius, 1.5-inch radius. And if you just go round it, it's going to round off all of those edges absolutely beautifully. I go with the 3-inch one because then it's not so sharply curved that I need to go with bias binding. I can get away with normal straight edge binding. And it's on days like today that I'm really grateful for all of the different tools and things that we have. And I know that I'm getting an equal curve because I'm lining this. As soon as I line that up with the straight edges, and there we go, we're perfectly curved around. So that should now have done all of them. Let's have a quick look at the binding here. Now with the binding, I will show you how we do binding here. We use Handmade by Haley's binding tool, which is fab. And I know that loads of you have got that now. So it's time to get that out and have a good play. Jane, bless her, did acres of binding for me this morning. I said, I'm just trying to feed the kids. Would have been much easier if they had actually all eaten their breakfast rather than having to cook at least 3. Because they don't want them. I don't like that. You liked it yesterday, I don't like it. Great. It's been one of those mornings where they like nothing. Nothing. I tell you, nothing. Fabulous. Love my children. I'm just trying to think which way around. This will go in, won't it? This way into the sewing machine. So up to the edge there, pop your binding around. Now I use a 2-inch binding, so it's a 2-inch strip. It ends up being an inch, and then you fold it in half and you get a 1/2 inch strip. It just means that you start to see some of the pattern that you've used on your fabric. And if you don't want to make your own binding, we've got 50-meter rolls of pre-made binding. Bung yourself one of those in your basket and crack on. That's also nice and easy, right? So I just clip these into place. You can pin if you want, but why pin when you can clip? Okay, and then just stitch down there. Now I make sure that my needle is in the middle. Oh, hello. Right, you might want to come in a little bit first on such an edge, and then make your start. Are we stuck? Are we jammed? Or are we going? There we go. Off we go. So this is going to be just along the top, picking up the applique, those little details on there. Now you might want to use up some strips off an old jelly roll or something like that, design strip, whatever you want to call them, from whoever you bought them from. They're absolutely perfect as well, bright and cheery. They would just give you a slightly wider binding, that is all. And all the binding is doing is just encapsulating that raw edge. So if you've got, this is your chance, if you've got a beautiful overlocker machine, why not get yourself some gorgeous fluffy nylon? We've got it on the website, and get a bright colour, and then that would, you don't have to bind then, you can just overlock all of your edges with a bright beautiful colour that goes all the way around and have it as a contrast colour. You've got that option as well, and then you don't need to do any of this binding, and it's super quick. I'll be honest, that's what I do with the dog towels. Or if you're doing flannels or something like that, you can just use a rolled, you can use your overlocker to roll hem your edges. Or if you've got our rolled hem guide and our rolled hem feet, then why not roll hem these edges as well? And that you can do that for tea towels. These are so useful. They're really lovely and wide as well. So they're big enough to make a beautiful big bath sheet. Perfect, perfect. Emily's going to be super excited at bath time tonight, isn't she? So then all you're going to do is place one over the top of the other, and it's like giving them a massive hug when they get out the bath, when they smell delicious and they're clean and beautiful and wow, lovely. And you know, you might want to start and finish your binding somewhere else. I don't know, it's entirely up to you. Poor Jane, she had acres of it, didn't she, for me this morning, bless her. Let's start it down there. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'll do enough to give you a clue as to how this is going to look. So rather than pinning this all in place, what I'm going to do is pop my binding over all of those edges. Clip as much as you need to, honestly. If you want to tack it in place first, then do. If you want to get your overlocker out and overlock around those edges, like a lot of quilters do before, you know, the like happens, then do that. It's all good. It's all good here. Coming around the corner. If you want to put on your walking foot, do. If you want to extend your stitch length, do. Do put in a new needle. We did this morning. So do that. Do that. And there you go. And then you would just stitch all the way around there. Should we do that? We've got time. And then, of course, they come out the shower or the bath and their little heads go in there. And then you've got acres and acres of wrappy cuddly stuff here. Absolutely beautiful. And off you go. Let's just have a little quick stitch around there. I won't do all of it because there's a lot, it would be fair to say. I'm going to start not quite on the end of my binding so that if I want to tuck and be super swish when I get to the end of my binding, then I can. But like I say, if you want to overlock these, baste these together somehow first, if you want to elongate your stitch length, then do. I would probably overlock these together first. If I didn't have an overlocker, I would just long stitch baste together. But I am very aware we've got lots to make this morning. But the kids get really excited on show days to see what we've made. Emily went off to school the other day with a lunch bag. Did you make this for me, Mummy? Yes. Freddie said that all the other kids just bring in a lunch box. They don't have bags with them. It's like, we're the only one that have bags, Mummy. I'm like, yep. Lots of them, son. Lots of bags. Ooh, I may have taken out a clip too soon. And don't be afraid, like binding is notorious. If you don't quite catch everything underneath, just go in and hand stitch it down. No one's going to know, no one's going to care. It's like when you're binding your quilt. I mean, look, we've caught all of that coming around, but that's because I always err on the side of caution. But you see, that's what I mean. If this had been overlocked together first, then those edges would have been flattened anyway. So that's why quilters do it, because it flattens the edges and it just makes putting the binding on a lot easier. But if you don't have an overlocker, obviously that is problematic for you. Okay, so I'm going to hold that there because otherwise we're just going to be watching me sew binding on, which is not the most fun that we've all ever had. There you go. So that gives you an idea of how that's going to be. There's not going to be any arguments now over whose towel is whose. I think I've got a claw quarter loose on my... Yeah, I have. Keeps catching off. Take that and get that fixed. So there we go. That is how I would do a beautiful bath wrap towel. And for those of you that are like, what is this thing? Look how much bigger it is than all of the ones that you buy in the shops. So they come out of the bath, you put that on there like that, and then you swaddle it. I mean, obviously, you know, this is kid size, not adult size, but you do them in that. And when you're 2, that's just the right size. Look at all of that. Perfect. In whatever colour. Or, you know, when you get to go back to beaches, perfect for taking on the beach because they can sit on it and then you can wrap them in it when they come out of the water. Or if you take them swimming lessons or anything like that, again, absolutely perfect. Right. I've got fluff up my nose. Let's have a look then at the other things that we can show you how to do. Let's show these. In your instructions, you will have the template. If you don't have a circle cutter, it's absolutely fine. I have a circle cutter, so quite frankly, I'm going to use my circle cutter. So what I would suggest you do when you get your bamboo home is take off the big stuff. I mean, actually, I'm going to do us new tea towels as well because these will be perfect for wiping up. So take off the big stuff and then with what you've got left over, make these because you can squidge these out of. It's just a 4.5 inch circle in diameter. You know, this is not big. We're not talking big here. It's really fluffy, all of this, by the way, so you are going to get it up your nose. Soz about that. And my hair, I know the overhead camera, I've got fluff in my hair. Right, if you don't have a Fiskars circle cutter, we do have them on the website. If you're going to cut a lot of circles, they're fabulous. Even if you're not, they're still fabulous. If you're a paper crafter as well, then often worth getting one. You can make your flowers with these. You can make flowers with these for fabric flowers as well. They're absolutely brilliant. You've got your fabric fold line that goes across there. So you notice I've folded my fabric over to create that fold. It goes up to 12 inches in diameter, but that's a 12-inch finished circle. So that's got a 1/2 inch, well, 1/4 inch seam allowance. So from there to there is actually 12.5 inches. If you want to just sew a semicircle, so maybe you're doing a rainbow, something like that, then you've got a 1/4 inch added on there. You would just align it with the next line down and that incorporates your seam allowance. You've got these beautiful grooves on here. This has got, you can just see little grooves there. They slot into there. The blade only engages when I press down. When I press down and I turn around, it's going to cut it beautifully and perfectly every single time. That's what I absolutely love about these. So again, into the groove, press down, that engages the blade, and around we go. If you're going to use this for paper as well, what I would absolutely suggest, recommend, highly recommend, all of those things, is that you buy one of the blades to replenish and have one for paper cutting and one for fabric cutting. And also it's always worthwhile just having one anyway. I try and keep them in stock for you. Occasionally I forget. If I do, give me a shout. I can always get them back in. So it's knowing, isn't it, when you've bought things that you can then get them again. So this is going to give you your perfect circles and all of them the same. So if you are making these as gifts, and they are really beautiful gifts, and if you've bought one of our scrap bags, maybe do them like ones out of different scraps and stuff. They're not going to know, they're just beautiful pieces of fabric in their mind. Nobody need know anything else, right? Or if you are doing these, you don't need to do these size, you can do them larger. I'll show you those in just one moment as well. Again, decide which side you want to use them on. Let's use, here we go. Let's use these for Captain Small. Not that she's going to want to take makeup off yet. But what we do have, is that the right? Yeah, we'll get those out. Is that these are the perfect size for little hands, for cleaning their faces, because washcloths are great, but for little fingers, they just fall off. They're too big. So they're great if you are the adult and giving a little one a good wash, or if you use them for yourself. But look at this. So you'll put them, that's gorgeous, isn't it? She's got chicken right in the middle of that and a cat down there. She'll be thrilled. Right sides together. So super, super fluffy side there and on there. And that is going to be something that she can hold. That's not too big for her hand. Perfect. Perfect. Let's just cut her a few more of these. And then I can do her a little series. And she's then got them. You can fussy cut them. Tilda is always really beautiful for little ones, I think, and big ones. For Freddie, when I make Freddie's ones, I will do his out of the Liberty Spaceman stuff, the treasure stuff, because he's already got storage and whatnot in there, and he will love it. He'll be super pleased. And these only take a couple of minutes to, I'm not going to make all of these now, by the way. I'm just doing this so that I know that for later I've got them all cut and I'm ready to go. Here we go. So these really suit a little print. Maybe you've got some of the Liberty scraps left over from when you bought the Liberties. But there we go. So each one's got something a little bit different in the middle. And pop those over the top there. So again, when I'm saying right sides together, the longer side is going face down to the pattern, and we've got all of those now ready to go. You can pin these in place, you can do all of that. What I would say is that if you aren't using a walking foot, and I haven't with these, then hang on, let me just show you something else. If you haven't used a walking foot, then that's fine, don't worry about it. Place the cotton on the base and walk and go round that way. If you are going to do a full circle, then great. If you are going to, and when I first did these, I didn't, I made them that shape so that they sit in your hand and they cut off there like that. And if you're going to do that, then maybe just think about which way round they go. So then your cut off would be along there. So I would start stitching there, and you might want to just mark. This is only if you want to make all of these absolutely uniform. You might go, right, okay, let's just mark that there, and then, you know, go 2 inches and all the way around. I'll show you. 1/4 of an inch. If you're worried if that feels too little for you, then go bigger. This is not, again, this isn't a test of can you sew a circle, how good are you at any of these things. This is just, let's just make something that's going to be great for the planet, great for your skin. Because that's the other thing, great for teenagers as well. Bear in mind that these are, bamboo is an anti-bacterial fabric. So I'm doing a few stitches, picking up and turning it around. So perfect for makeup pads and stuff like that, because it's not going to allow bacteria to stay on there. And just keep going round. Round to where you started, and then 1, 2, 3. If you want to trim that back, you can. So we've sewn all the way around and come back to there. We are going to go in to the furthest point, pull that furthest point through first. Just get your finger in there, push out all of those beautiful seams. There's a little bit of give in the bamboo, so I really wouldn't worry too much. Now here's the thing, right? If I was going to make this fully circular, then I would have made that ever so slightly smaller. But tuck and press the top fabric first, and then the bottom one will follow. So that's, or if you're just going to do it straight, literally just fold it across there and off you go. So if you want to do it circular, what I would say is, so ease out all of those corners. Corners? It's a circle, it doesn't have any corners. And just give it a press. There we are. And then decide if you're going to go circular, in which case press that circle now into your seam, or if you're just going to go straight across, again, press it straight, then fold. So you pressed it straight across there, then fold your bamboo in to match, and then when you take it back to the machine to top stitch, I would start there and then go all the way around. Now the bibs are made in exactly the same way. Okay, exactly the same way. Stitch it together, turn it through, top stitch round. That is it. Okay, so the bibs are not difficult, it's just the template that you want, and the marking points for the for where the poppers go. And if you want poppers, we often get asked, oh, you know, which snaps do you use for poppers and stuff? And I like the cam snaps. They're what we stock because I've just found them to be the easiest. So they're on the website for you if you want those. And there we have, for Captain Small's delight, a little mitt, well, just a little hand thing so that she can wipe her face, and that can then fit in her hand there. Off she goes. But I'll make this for her later. Maybe. Oh, I didn't press this. Maybe you'll have a mitt. Now, Gemma and I were talking about this yesterday, and she's like, you know, all of those mitts that the beauticians use, did you see, she said, and they're just overlocked around the edges. They're not even finished off nicely. They're just overlocked around the edges and around the base. So how about just having a mitt for the bath and the shower, and then on here you've got a bit of a hairband that you can hang it up, and there's your mitt. So with your instructions, if you're getting the instructions for the dimensions and everything else, because these are not difficult, it's just getting the sizes right. These are all beginner makes, and it'll get you going with your binding. If you don't want to make your own binding, like I say, go to our website and have a look, because we've got all of the pre-made binding there. But if you do different coloured bindings for different people, then no one's going to get upset about people using each other's, blah blah. So what am I going to do with this? Okay, I'm going to make a little mitt for, here we go. So if you've already got your bamboo, you might have already done stuff. And please, on our community page, you know, it's a really nice place, a really friendly place there to just add in any kind of makes that you might have done with yours. Go for it. What size did I want this to be? Right, okay, so I'm just going to chop these, cut this down. And again, you know, this is... What do I need this to be? How long do I need this to be? Haha. All of these will be in your instructions for the sizings. I'm just trimming it down quickly now so that we can... Right, so you're going to end up with 2 pieces, and if you want to, at this point, you can have either one long strip or 2 pieces. You can spin them around right sides together, like so. Again, bring this out. It's awesome. So you might want to find your midway point. Again, just give it a little press there. And then decide on what angle you want this. Get a plate, get whatever. I used to use dining plates. I'll be honest, I used to use dining plates. I shudder now when I say that, simply because I didn't have this. I didn't have it, and but they're not safe. They are not safe. Oh yeah, Jane's right. She said to me before, I went, no, I think you need a new blade in there. Oh, yeah, I think you're probably right. But that's going to give you your curve straight off, and then you're just going to stitch all the way round. Now, if you're sewing a couple of layers of this together, then you might want to increase your stitch length. I've just put it to 2.6. That's absolutely fine. And you might want to also pin it, would also really help. I appear to have lost the ability to pin this morning. Hey ho, never mind. But again, if on one side you want to put an initial or anything like that, then you can. Now that's moved a bit because I should have pinned, so I will just trim that up a little bit. There's a slight bit of give on these, so just, it's not the end of the world, just straighten it up. Again, don't give yourself a hard time. I should have pinned. Yes, I should have. I didn't. Oh dear, whoops. It's still going to be absolutely fine. So then, turn it through. Ease out those edges. And that is fundamentally it done. But, here's the thing. With your kit, what you will get while stocks last of these. A couple of white hairbands. And again, I was quite specific about the sizes for these. I wanted them to be a certain size so that when you cut them in half, they work really beautifully with the size mother of pearl button that you're getting. If you just want these and the hairbands, then they're on the website as well. Do go and grab those. I'm going to baste these on to one corner, and then we're just going to bind around, and that is it. But then I've got a way to hang it so that it can actually stand a chance of drying out. That's the other thing, isn't it? So just go, okay. It's going to really help if your machine has not come unthreaded. It's not. There we are. And I just do that on the seam, just on one corner. Just baste it in there like that. I mean, if you want to go to town and make it, you know, if you've got some felt or you want to applique or anything like that, would the E fit in? Oh, yes. Look at that. Oh, well, that's perfect, isn't it? I should have done that. And then just get your binding and work that all the way around. Let's have some of Freddie's binding here, shall we? So this is Freddie's. He is going to have the beautiful Liberty one. And then they'll both have something new tonight and be feeling really pleased with themselves. I'm going to start it just past the seam, because I don't want to be, when I come around, the last thing that I want to be is going over that seam and over a couple of layers of binding all at once. So I don't do anything to the start of my binding, and all I will do at the end, well, you'll see. Let's go to the machine, you'll see. This isn't big enough to loop under there, so you've just got to keep the underside pushed back a little bit so that you don't sew through it. So put the edge of your binding up against there, down you go. Okay. Oh, no. Change my needle position is going to help. And then we go. And the reason that I chose this particular Liberty pattern for Fred's, firstly because he's already, like I say, he's already got his storage boxes and it's one that he likes. It's a great colour. And you just get the odd little bit of a planet or a bit of a star or whatever it is. It's just, it's got small enough motifs that you might actually get to see one as they come around. There we go. So this is, if you're not gonna, you can pin these if you want, but otherwise just keep bringing it through, lining it up on your binding, because it is, this is probably actually, weirdly enough, one of the more fiddly ones, and yet you wouldn't think it because it's such a straightforward, simple make. Oh yeah, he's got a nice rocket there. And as I come round and I can see the end in sight, look, here I am. This is my end here. I'm gonna just line my binding up and go slightly past it and trim that back. You can, if you want to, open it out, fold that down It's a perfectly acceptable way of doing that if you want to do it, or just fold it. If you want to, just fold it over. You basically want to be able to cover up that raw edge there with that and be able to sew over it. That's all you want to be able to do. I think people can get really fancy with bias binding. If you've got your little tailor's awl to just pull it across and hold it there, then great. If you're really worried about it, then go back in and stitch it down. But you see, that has encapsulated everything. Got my thread, I'll trim that off. But there he's got his little rockets and everything all the way around. Pop his hand in, have a good scrub-a-dub-dub, hang it up to dry and drain so that it's all nice and clean, ready to go for the next time. Hooray, hooray. And these, yeah, so then we've got, so that's my one, that's Freddie's one. I'll do one for Captain Small later. And what else did we want to do? Oh yeah, the hair wrap. We've got time, we've just about got time. So this is the hair wrap. Have you seen these? They're fab. So when you get out of the shower, bath, whatever, and your hair's soaking wet and you want, I've seen these done two ways. I do them so that I put it on there first and then stuff your hair up into it like that and then twist it. And so it's one size fits all. Emily has exactly the same size. And then you just bring that round and there's a button at the front like that, and that just dries your hair, just dries it. So I'll put Emily's hair up in that, my hair up in that, and you see where it's twisted in there, it's drying your hair, but it's just, it's so absorbent, it does it. Now you can buy these for a lot of money. They are out there. You can buy them for not quite so much money. They're not as good, trust me, I've tried them. But they all pretty much do the same thing. But how lovely to have everything matching. Should I just wear this for the rest of the show? It's really quite comfortable. Are we okay? Have we got any questions? Let me just... Elizabeth said, I initially didn't search the bamboo song yesterday. I didn't want an earworm. It keeps trying to pop into my head now all by itself. We're all blaming Lo. We're all blaming Lo. Hello, John. He said, swoon, that fabric, yummy. And again, great hair day. Jealous, need a haircut. You just need to get yourself one of these, John. You can just wander around like this. Is the Lisa Chandler giraffe bag being sold as a kit? Laurie, it's not Lisa Chandler fabric. So that is Christopher Wilson Tate fabric, and it's being sold in a bundle with the other fabric so that if you want to quilt with it, you can. It feels divine. But otherwise, all you need to look for is grab yourself the fabric bundle and then just grab yourself the base and then the handles if you want them. They are, if you just search bag on the website, then you can find them, and it's super easy to do from there. The bag has instructions. The bag kits, they're prim ones and they've got instructions with them. So the bag base, if you want the matching handles, then do, and you're good to go. Lisa's the teal is divine. I'm getting that one. Lisa, are you still up? Go to bed, lady. And oh, Heather says that her Joe Carter fawn and hand puppet kits have just turned up. Guess what she's going to be doing this afternoon? Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely toweling, says Tina. You've ordered. It's fab. It's just really beautiful. Elizabeth says the phrase ladybeard makes me laugh. Better not laugh too much. She has a lady beard. What can I say? Dear Maud. Dear Maud and her lady beard. It's not always the most attractive feature of a pup, I'll be honest. Right, so what were we doing? Hair wraps. Yes, yes, yes. Now, yes. Now, let's have a little look. This needs to be... I've written myself diagrams. I've got to finish off typing these up today. Eek. Now, you might be wondering why I'm only working with the white bamboo, and that is just because we just had some offcuts. So, I need it to be... Oh, here we go. Right. Don't think that's long enough. Oh, no, it is! Hooray! Hooray! Halloo! Right. Again, you know what I said about cut everything else that you need first, cut the biggest pieces off first, and then, luckily, and then everything else can come off it from there. For example, you know, those bits. John, are you feeling better? That is the question that everyone has been asking. Are you feeling better? When you've got this, so here we go. Let's have a look at this. I need this to be, oh look, perfect. If you've gone, so the way that I've done it is if you've just got a ½ metre, it's fine because you need it to be 10 inches high. I mean, I say need, like it's a movable feast. But 10 inches works really, really nicely. As you can see here, 10 inches, lovely. And so if you have bought ½ metre, then that's 20, because we cut to 20 inches, fold it in half, you are good to go. If it's slightly less, if it's an inch or so less, it really doesn't matter. Okay, it really doesn't matter at all. Now, I'm just going to mark across a little bit here. I'm going to make a mark to there, and I'm going to make a mark to there. Again, all of these measurements will be in your kit. Spin your fabric around and line up those two marks. Luckily, this is a washable pen. Okay, and again, you know, use that bit for all of these. You'll get loads out of all of your scraps. They are so useful, so handy. Okay, so now we've got this here, and actually I will just, it's not quite straight, is it? And this is just, this is, if you've got one of these, then it just, all you're going to do is, again, just neaten up around here. You can pop a little curve through there if you want. I'm not really going to bother. And if you want to have this curved around the back there, and do that. I've done that slightly. There you go. So then it's got whoosh, lovely flow. Now here's the thing. This is the conundrum. This bit feels really lovely, should be next to the hair. If you don't want anything quite as rough, I say rough, it's so silky and smooth. This is going to be the most absorbent way to do it. If you want something that is smoother next to your hair, then go with that side. I'm going to spin it, actually no, I'm going to do it this way. Stitch around and then spin it so that the super absorbent bit is on the inside. And all you do, I will actually pin this so that it doesn't move around, is stitch with whatever seam allowance. Look, I've used 1/4 inch seam allowance, but sometimes because I've gone with a slightly wider one. On this, it really doesn't matter, because look, it's all twisted through. It's going to be great. I've seen people use these the other way round, so that they put this bit over the back of their head and do it like that way. I can never work that out myself. But honestly, these are very, very simple, quick and easy to make, and you can have your bathroom all matching in gorgeous colours, and away we go. So let's just stitch that. And yes, I might keep wearing this for the rest of the day. It's super comfy. Oh, here you go, case in point, I've forgotten to put this back to a 1/4 inch seam. So we're going with a bigger seam allowance. Again, if you have an overlocker, overlock it. Gosh, it'll be made in moments. And they make great gifts. And they're really pretty. And again, if you've got your, if you've got that beautiful fluffy nylon, I think they call it. Certainly we've got some on the website. It's a thicker stranded thread that you put in your overlocker, and it gives like a feature colour that wraps around. Then you might, instead of binding these, all of these, you might just be going with that colour, and that would be fantastic. Also, loads of ways to make it. As I say, these instructions are for you to play with. If you want to do all of your bias and make it proper bias binding, then fab. Most of these are going to be absolutely fine with just your straight binding. We will look at binding in just 1 second. So in order to make your binding, cut yourself a 2-inch strip. Oh, here we go, this one's part done. And then fold it in half. So 2-inch strip, fold it in half. Wrong sides together. So 2-inch strip, fold it in half, wrong sides together. The fluff everywhere. Now this is this is absolutely fab. This is from Hayley, handmade by Hayley, and you can do different widths of binding. You basically then open out, and I just start it off. So you want to fold those raw edges into the middle there, and I will just press that first little bit. This is K Facet Dream that I'm working with, and it is a dream. It's just beautiful. I love it. Okay. Now, you want to use this a little bit like a belt. So like you'd loop it through into your belt like that. Okay. And then what you do is just push it along. Like so. And press. I've done this the wrong way. Hang on. Sorry. Ignore me. I'm like, why is that not doing what I need it to do? Right. Like so. And then what you've got, is you've got lines on here that you line up for your bits to match in the middle, so for your edges to line, and you can either just sort of rub it backwards and forwards a bit to almost finger press if you want, or just go straight in with your iron. What I tend to do if I do that is find myself a pin. Where were they? Here they are. Mini irons are great. Don't know where I've put mine. And what this does is it's genius because you've got the different sizes. It folds it just right for you. If you want to help it along, then you can. But it just is going to give you great binding every time. So that's how we do our binding here. So I've got one hand that's just bringing those edges in together, and it's like putting it through the buckle on a belt. But it just makes binding so much easier. And then all you need to do is fold it up and press it. We've done this before. I've shown you this little natty gadget before. It comes with another ruler so that you can make it really, really easy for joining your binding as well. All the things that I used to hate about binding, I'm now really happy making binding because we've got that. Again, what have I done with my pincushion? There we go. So that's the binding. That's the quickest way that we've ever found if you want to make your own binding. And like I say, this morning, Jane, bless her, because I ran out of time and I had to try and cook 13 different breakfasts for the kids because they were being awkward. Bless her. She did a lot of binding this morning. Right, so just checking I've caught everything there. Yep. Turn it inside out. No, the right way round rather. Turn it the right way through, and then like we've done with the mitt and everything else. Oh look, you see, I knew I hadn't caught a bit of it. Let me go back and catch that. You're going to just pop some binding around, and again, like the mitt. Oh no, have I come on? Yeah, I've come undone. Yeah, so like we do with the mitt, we will put half a hairband. It sounds so strange. Pop half a hairband on the back end. Okay, so half a hairband on the back end. You'll see what I mean. So before I bind, I will find, I've got so many bits of half hairband. Here we go. Your half hairband. Right, now let's pop that through on the short end there. And if you want to open out the seam, then do, but just what I want. Tack it in place. That's the word I want. You can just stitch it in as you stitch everything else in. You can. Of course you can. But it's just one more thing to try and control as you go round. So then all you're going to do is pop your binding on, and again I'm going to start my binding just past there. Let's pop this on all the way around, and there are lots of fancy schmancy ways that you can do your binding. If you are a quilt queen and you have lots of bindy know-how, then if you want to do it so that, and we've done it when we did the teapots, haven't we, where we've stitched the ends of them together and so that it's all in one beautiful piece. You can do all of that, but let's just go for, what if you're not at that stage? What if you are just looking at that going, oh, binding, not sure about that, that's a bit scary. Then let's keep it straight binding so that we're not having to use lots and lots of fabric in doing bias binding. Like I say, if you don't even want to make your own binding, we do have ready-made binding, rolls of ready-made binding on the website, so have a look maybe at some of those as an option. We've got tools to make binding even easier for you with the Handmade by Hayley. They were so popular when we first bought those to wear. We still have a handful left. So there's lots of ways, lots of little tips and tricks and things that we can just make life really easy with ourselves. And hopefully, you know, just life generally a little bit better, using sustainable fabrics, all those kind of things. Bamboo is, if I have a preference, I do love to use bamboo for my quilting, for my wadding, because again, it's sustainable. It's one of the fastest growing plants out there. So, you know, it's great. Sometimes you'll notice like the cost of cotton wadding going up, and that might be because they've had a wet year, and so the cotton yield hasn't been as high. So in which case, using your bamboo, great option. And again, super warm, easy to wash, easy to use, antibacterial, just fab. And I think, you know, especially if you've got kids and that, we've got a whole drawer full of bigger size wipes in the kitchen. Again, instead of napkins, that's what the kids use. Because they're super grubby. They are super grubby. Oh, this is great. I get 2 of these today. Awesome. Only because I'm not going to share. And again, this is great because already my 2-year-old daughter thinks I want to share stuff with her. I don't want to share stuff with her. Is that wrong? Like, no, no, no. Share, mummy. It's my hairbrush. And so the conversation already begins. I think, you know, I need to get used to it early on, don't I? and get over it and show that positive thing of, I just want, do you know what? I love to share. I don't have a problem with sharing at all. The only thing that gets on my wick is where stuff's not where I left it. Because I'm busy. I just need to not be looking for stuff. So if people want to borrow stuff and put it back, it's absolutely fine, be my guest. Want to borrow it and then put it somewhere that I don't know where it is? We're having a conversation. Ask my family how they know. So again, just going slightly past, folding over the edge. Whole conversation about a hairbrush the other day. Emily has 6 hairbrushes. I have 1. Did we need to use mine as well? Did we? Did we? Yes, we did. Excellent. You guys know far too much, I'm sure, about the inner workings of the McCarthy family. Right, again, your tailor's awl is going to be your friend here. If you don't want to do lots of whizzy clever things with your binding, then just, at least on the top edge, get your tailor's awl, because it's easier than getting your fingers in there and your fingers caught. Use your pokey tool to just move that binding over. Okay, and then what you will have at the end of it is something that is beautifully bound, like so. You've got the loop one end, and then on the seam, this end, you are going to stitch on your button. And then that, and this is why these hairbands were the right size, because they are the perfect size to go when they're cutting in half, to then go over that button without a stress, without an effort, without, you know, anything else. Then that just works. What else would work is if I had a needle, and I'm pretty sure, aha, yes, I do have a needle. So we can stitch that on, and then that is done. And then there are other things if you want to do them. I've started making, I haven't quite finished this. So this will be to keep everything out of my face when I put my makeup on. Again, I will bind all the way round. I can add this in if you want it. And then you are simply going to put a stretch of hook and loop tape. so that it goes on around there, around there. And then it's always going to be the right size because it's hook and loop, and then and off you go. I will put those into the instructions. It's just basically bound with hook and loop up either end. Like, these things are so simple, but again, the widths and everything else, the lengths, that's the only thing people don't always want to work out for themselves, which is fine. I used to be that person, then I got really curious and I was like, so what would happen if... Come on, thread, I know you're there. Let's be having you. Where have you gone? Don't be shy. Come on. Right. Yeah, I didn't catch it. This needle has got the smallest eye, as I've discovered this morning. Normally these work first. Haha, first time. Ha! Oh, come on. With these, you're meant to drop the eye in straight. They normally work first time. Haha, there we go. But there's no way with that needle and the size of the eye that I am managing to do that by hand. No way, Jose. So from the underside, you'll just stitch that on. I can recommend where you put the button, but it really doesn't matter how high up that button goes at all, really. I've got threads everywhere. And then pop the button on. And that is it. I mean, it really is that simple and that easy. So maybe, maybe this is going to be like a Mother's Day make. You're going to revamp her bathroom for her with lots of gorgeous goodies. Maybe that's going to be the thing. It's also a really lovely way to get those fabrics in the house that maybe hubby doesn't like, but you absolutely adore. Like, it's always a battle for me to get florals in the house because Stephen's just like, doesn't really like them. So these are ways for me to get all of those fabrics that I absolutely adore throughout the house. And no one needs to know. It's all good. I know they're there. And every time I get out the bath or the shower, I'll be like, yep, here I am, using my beautiful fabrics again. This time wearing them, yeah. But again, if your kids go and stay at somebody's house, they're going to know that they're theirs. So when you've got your button on, and I did go for a beautiful button. Can we all just have a moment to appreciate the beautiful button there? Yeah. So then twist, 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 twist. And then you will just loop that around. And that is your hair wrap. Okay. But then use the other bits of these to, like I say, to do hanging up hoops or whatever you need them for. And again, I always store mine hanging up. So we've done wipes, we've done face mitts, we've done towels. What else do we want? All these things. And again, they're going to make a great gift, aren't they? So do take a look, have a play. All of the bamboo is on the website, all the different colours. The fabrics are there. If you're spending over £50, there's £5 off. Gosh, what else to say? If you want the bag, you've got to kind of put the kit together. I know I can see already on the comments that Gemma or SJ or somebody has already helped one of you put those together. So yeah, just have a good little through, see what you fancy. Tomorrow, let me show you what Jane is making tomorrow. It's not up on the wall because Emily came in here this morning when she said it's so much fun in your workroom, and yeah, she made us take it down. She said, can it go on the floor, please, so I can play? So she was playing on this morning. Now, the pattern for this, I think, is ever so slightly more expensive because there are over 40 steps. There are 10 pages to this. That's 10 pages, that's 20 sides of instructions. It's like, Jane, I don't know. She says, it's not actually difficult. I don't know why there are so many steps. But that's Jane. She wants to take you through step by step, absolutely, so that you can make that to perfection. I think it's like £1 dearer than we normally sell our patterns at. So there you go. Do all of that. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. The sun is just starting to poke its little face out here, so I'm going to go and have a little look at that. Yeah. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care. Try not to sing bamboo songs too much. No. And I will see you here 10 o'clock tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.